Technology the way you like it. This is Technology Today. Well, welcome everybody to Technology Today, episode number 29. I'm your host, David Herzog, and today I got some stories from the world of technology, and I'm going to talk about how to check for updates in Windows 10. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started. Well, hey everybody, what's going on? David Herzog talking at you here. How's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody is alive and working and you don't have coronavirus and we'll just, like the Diana Ross and Supreme songs, keep hanging on. Yeah, that's all we can do. Right? Well, and this is episode 29 of the podcast here, Technology Today. And we're working on some new things here, trying to bring some more structure and information to the podcast, to, hopefully, make things better. So if you're curious about this podcast and you want to know where to listen to it, you can listen to it on Spreaker.com in the technology section of their webpage, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts. And you can also watch this on my YouTube channel, Technology Today. And you can also watch it on my Twitter page as well, too. So, those are new that I started this year, putting it on my YouTube channel, Technology Today, and on my Twitter page, because I've been doing this podcast for 3 years now, but I have never took it to YouTube until now. So, here we are, and here I am. And so, well, we're here on a nice sunny day, Thursday, October 8th at about 7 minutes till 5 in the afternoon. And everything seems to be going okay. And, I said I had a lot of errands to do today, a lot of running and stuff, and finally I got everything done, so I can sit here and talk to everybody who is deciding to listen, that they want to listen. And with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll see if we are ready here. I think we might be. I gotta do a little microphone mute here. I'll be right back. All right. Well, okay. I think we're about ready to get things done here. So let's go ahead and get to the first story here that we got. Lenovo expands Linux-ready computer line. As a next step in its Linux expansion program, Lenovo announced the launch of Linux-ready ThinkPad and ThinkStation PCs pre-installed with Canonical's popular Ubuntu technology. The company also brings Linux certification to its ThinkPad and ThinkStation workstation portfolio, along with easy deployment for developers and data scientists. Lenovo is moving to certify the full workstation portfolio for top Linux distributions from Ubuntu and Red Hat. This includes every model and every configuration. Previously only accessible to enterprises via a customized bid, Lenovo now offers a comprehensive range of nearly 30 Ubuntu-loaded devices available for purchase via Lenovo.com. These include 13 ThinkStation and ThinkPad P series workstations and additional 14 ThinkPad T, X, X1, and L series laptops. All come with the 20.04 LTS version of Ubuntu, with the exception of the L series, which will have version 18.04. Lenovo's vision for enabling smart technology for all really does mean for all. Lenovo announcement of the device certification in June was a step in the right direction to enable customers to more easily install Linux on their own. And Lenovo's goal is to remove the complexity and provide the Linux community with a premium experience their customers know them for. For Lenovo, this is the next step to offering its customers Linux-ready devices right out of the box. This expansion brings increased accessibility to open source apps, libraries, and tools to enhance developers' productivity. This offers a seamless out-of-box experience for those who previously braved the oftentimes consuming process of loading Linux onto their Lenovo devices themselves. So, if you are a Linux user, if you use only Linux, and besides using Windows or Mac IRS, there's a bonus. There's a bonus and something good for you. That's coming up. All you got to do is go to Lenovo.com and see what series of how many laptops that they have that already have Linux, the Linux operating system loaded on them. Well, let's go ahead and get to the second story here. Alright, second story here, how to protect your privacy in Windows 10. And it appears there's been some concern from people that Windows 10 gathers too much private information from its users. So if you're one of those people, users, whatever, whatever you call people or users, we're both the same, we're all the same. If you think Microsoft is getting a little bit too much information from you, here's a few configuration settings that you can adjust in Windows to lessen the data that Microsoft is gathering on you, or that you feel Microsoft is gathering on you. Oops, I went a little bit too far there, sorry about that. At the top of many people's privacy concerns is what data is being gathered about them as they browse the web. That information creates a profile of a person's interest that is used by a variety of companies to target ads. Windows 10 does this with the use of something called an advertising ID. And you can turn the advertising ID off if you want to. And how are you going to do that? To turn it off, the ad tracking, you're going to launch Windows 10 Settings app by clicking on the Start button at the lower left corner of your screen, and then clicking the Settings icon, which looks like a gear, and go to Privacy in General. There you'll see a list of choices under the title Change Privacy Options. The first option controls the advertising ID. Move the slider from on to off. And then after that, you'll still get ads delivered to you, but they'll be generic ones rather than targeted ones, and your interests won't be tracked. To make absolutely sure that you're not tracked online when you use Windows 10, and to turn off any other ways Microsoft will use information about you to target ads, head to the Ad Settings section of Microsoft's Privacy Dashboard. Sign into your Microsoft account toward the top of the page. Then go to the See Ads That Interest You section at the top of the page and move the slider from on to off. After that, scroll down to the See Personalized Ads in your browser section and move the slider from on to off. And there's a general note here. You'll need to go to every browser you use and make sure the slider for See Personalized Ads in your browser is set to off. Alright, next one you can do is turn off location tracking. Wherever you go, Windows knows you're there. Some people don't mind this because it helps them, the operating system, give you relevant information such as your local restaurants and weather and things that are nearby and so on. But if you're one of the people who do not like this, you can turn off location tracking in Windows 10. And how to go about doing that. Also, Settings app and go to Privacy Location. Underneath, allow access to location on this device. Click Change, and on the screen that appears, move the slider from on off. Doing that turns off all location tracking for every user on the PC. And this doesn't have to be an all or nothing affair. You can also turn off location tracking on an app by app basis. If you want your location to be used only for some apps and not for others, make sure the location tracking is turned on. Then scroll down to the Choose Apps that can use your precise location. And you'll see a list of every app that can use your location. Move the slider to on for the apps you want to allow to use your location. For example, weather or Microsoft News, and to on for the applications, off or off for the applications you don't. And when you turn off location tracking, Windows 10 will still keep a record of your past location history. And to delete that and clear your past location history. To clear your location history, go to the Privacy dashboard, scroll down to the Location Activity section, click View and clear location activity, and delete all or some of your location history. And there's one more thing really that you could do, and it's really the easiest of all those settings to adjust. You can install Windows on your computer without a Microsoft account, and I did that to both of my computers. The one I built for myself and built for my son, they do not have Microsoft accounts on this computer I'm podcasting on right now. Does not have a Microsoft account. But that's a little bit more advanced how to do that. But if you have a computer that you bought from a store already loaded with Windows, you'll have to. And if you made a Microsoft account, you'll have to log into your Microsoft account to do that. All right. Okay. That seems like the end of the second story there. Let's go ahead and we'll get ready for the third story here coming up. And here we go. Alright, the third and final story I got here is hands-on with Windows 10's new modern disk management tool. What Windows 10's doing, they're bringing out a modern disk management tool. It's Microsoft's latest effort to migrate legacy tools into modern versions found in the Settings app. Earlier this year, Microsoft announced a new disk management tool that is called a modern take on Windows 10 Snap-in Disk Management Tool. And since at least Windows 95 users have had access to the disk management tool for managing the drives, volumes, and their partitions. With the legacy disk management tool, you can extend space of a particular partition, delete a partition, shrink a partition, or change settings of a partition. And with the latest Insider Preview builds, Microsoft has introduced a modern alternative called Manage Disks and Volumes utility, which has better integration with the storage spaces and storage settings. And to access the modern tool, you need to visit Settings, System Storage, and click on Manage Disk and Volumes. With the new tool, you can also manage your hard disk and the volumes partitions they contain, but the modern version is very limited and a lot of advanced options are missing. So that means it's kind of like it's still in kind of a beta stage, I'm thinking. And Microsoft says you can use the modern disk manager to view disk information, create and format volumes. You can also assign drive letters, but unlike the classic disk management tool, the modern version cannot extend the volume partition or display your storage distribution in the form of a graphical representation. And see, I got a problem with that, because when I go to disk management, I want to see all the drives that I have there, and I want to see all the drives I have and the partitions that are on those drives, and how much storage space, how many gigs of storage space I have on each one of those drives. But that's just the way that I am. I'm weird like that. All right. Alrighty there. Well, with that going on there, let's see how we get here, and we're gonna go to the final one now. Yeah, and so those are the three stories there. On Linux, and how to turn off some privacy settings in Windows 10, and we're in the new disk management tool in Windows 10. That's going to be available soon, I'm pretty sure. And here's the final one here for the technology, what I call the technology tip of the day. All right, technology tip of the day: how to check for updates in Windows 10. For those who know how to do this, this is probably very remedial or in the very beginning, but there might be some people who do not know how to do this. If you're one of those people who do know how to do this, then you don't need to be listening or watching this podcast. But if you're one of the people who don't, I got a little visual demonstration here to show you how to do it. Okay, well, first off, I'm gonna go change my camera input there to this Dell Inspiron computer that I have running here. As you can see, Inspiron 531 computer, it's running, and you can see the blue power light on, and the hard drive LED flashing at the bottom of the computer there. And changing the camera input again, we're going to the screen of the computer right there, and this is the screen of that computer right there. Just to explain and to clarify that. And what we're going to do here is I got if you can see the screen of the keyboard down there. What you're going to do to go to the Windows settings, all you have to do is press the Windows key on your keyboard and the I keyboard and the I key on your keyboard. And we're going to do that now, the Windows key and the I key on your keyboard. Okay, and that's going to bring up the Windows settings. That's the keyboard shortcut, Windows and the I key to bring up the settings tab. Instead of going into the search bar and typing settings and all that, keyboard shortcuts are great. As many of them as you can learn them because you will need them. It's going to make your life so much easier using a computer. Anyhow, okay. Now, since I made this small, for demonstration purposes, we're going to have to scroll down to the bottom here, and going to go to the update and security part of Windows and click on that, and that's going to bring up the Windows Update screen. And on the Windows Update screen, what we're going to do is go to that gray box down there that says check for updates. I know it says you're up to date, last check today at 4/18, but we're going to double check it anyway. And with past Tuesday coming up, this is what you're going to do to, because past Tuesday is, I believe, next Tuesday. This is the first Tuesday of this week is the first Tuesday of the month. The 13th, yeah, it should be past Tuesday when Windows puts out patches for the operating systems. And we're going to go ahead and check that for updates. Hit that box, check for updates. And if there are any updates to install, you will see them on the screen there. And if there aren't any updates, it'll say you're all up to date. And let's see if we got any updates. Okay, luckily, we're all the computer. Luckily, this computer is all up to date. So we're good on that. Which is great. Because that's one of this computer I have that I have to update. Because I got quite a few computers here. Blessed with computers. And so, hopefully, that's been helpful and informational to you. And I'm going to go back to myself right there. Okay. And that's going to basically, I believe, conclude the show for today. And we'll go ahead. Going to go ahead and come to the end here. Okay, that's going to end the show today. If you're curious and you'd like to find out more information about me, you can find me on the University of Cincinnati's homepage at homepages.uc.edu /the tilde key Herzog DL, or you can find this podcast on Spreaker.com in the technology section of their webpage, and on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts. And you can also watch this on my Technology Today YouTube channel and on my Twitter page as well. And I'd like to thank everyone for listening and watching today. And I'll be talking at you soon. Goodbye until next time. Stay safe, stay alive, and stay healthy.